play of the game from way down.
True, silence. Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring. Bob Stastinko gonna find Rainer.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. Tonight, we bring you a Division D East matchup. It's Season 8. This is a flex match. We're coming toward the end of the season, and the teams need to get these points. We're going to see a battle between One More Fight and Team E-Lite, a couple of teams that are new to the Nexus Gaming Series this season, and they're on the lower end of the division, but certainly some hidden gems here. They've put in some pretty good performances against some top teams, so just a little bit, and they'll be right there where they need to be. So let's take a look at the standings here. We can see here Team E-Lite and One More Fight very close, within striking distance of that number 8 spot. With a win here, with a couple of other wins, they could even find themselves as high as number 7, maybe even dethroning the Nexus Cats. Who knows? It could happen. But let's take a quick peek here at our maps. What did we get tonight? Well, One More Fight banned out the Alterac Pass and Tomb of the Spider Queen. Team E-Lite banned out Brax's Holdout and Dragonshire. And our first game of the night gonna be Battlefield of Eternity, and that was the selection of One More Fight. Ewok Thor. That's a name. One must wonder if you had the name before those were both under Disney or after. Are you some kind of prophet? Interesting. Gonna have to consider that one. But anyways, here Team E-Lite starting off the bans with a Blaze ban. And on Battlefield of Eternity, oftentimes we'll see some race heroes. Heroes like the Rainer, or the Greymane, or the Vala, or Artanis receive some pretty high priority here. Alarak's going to be the next ban. But lately, of course, Oriole and Deathwing clearing out the top end of the meta, have those really high win percentages, so we may yet see a ban onto one of those. And I think that Deathwing is definitely beatable, but I feel like Oriole's Resurrection right now is just too strong. So I would like to see an Oriole ban here. We'll see if it comes out. Because it's unlikely. I mean, I don't know that if these teams play the Oriole, but it's unlikely. Even if Oriole is just kind of a mostly okay hero, like the Resurrect is just so strong. And there it is. All right, so two of the top winning percent heroes going to be taken out, and we're going to start off with a pick onto Johanna. Johanna is also a very strong hero. She's not nearly as oppressive as the Deathwing or Oriole can be. Okay, just had to make sure I got the message from them that about the bans. But Kael'thas and now the ETC. So Kael'thas can definitely be that oppressive hero if your team is not that great at spreading apart and calling when that damage is coming and being aware of where that living bomb is. Because right, you can hear it, but you have to actually recognize, is it on the Immortal? Is it on a Gazlo turret? Is it on a minion from a Nubrag? Like all these different things you have to be looking for to make sure that you don't spread those bombs. But we're going to see the Anduin and Vala. So a couple of ways to interrupt an ETC Mosh, so I like that. We also have the potential for a Protect here. If Kael'thas goes into that Pyroblast, Anduin could take the Salvation. So we've got Vala, so we've got I wouldn't mind seeing an Artanis. Varian, actually, Varian's another one that could work really well. He does decently in the race, but probably more important, they could take him even as a taunt. He could be a second tank here, and something like Greymane and Varian could turn this into a very significant blow-up comp. And Ana going to be the third and final ban here for Team E-Lite. Now, the other reason you might ban Varian is if you were going for some kind of a dive here, like a Genji or a Tracer, or somebody like that that wants to be far forward. Oh, man. Oh, geez. I can't quite. Ah. So there you go. All right. But you know who else works with this? Uther could potentially work. Anybody with that point and click CC. So we don't really have that. We do have the blind from Johanna, so there is that potential. But Tracer is pretty mobile, so it's going to be difficult to land those blinds if Tracer's halfway decent at using Blink or Recall. She's going to be able to dodge a lot of that. But we're going to see Leoric and Lunara. So Lunara is another hero that has pretty decent race here. So overall, pretty strong race out from Team E-Lite. A little bit less race coming out from One More Fight, but they're looking for those kills. They want to spread that damage from the Kael'thas and finish a target off with Tracer going in, hitting that Pulse Bomb. All right, but who do you think is going to win game number one? Is it going to be on the left, One More Fight? Or is it going to be on the right, Team E-Lite? Vote in chat. Hit the drop down at the top of your chat window there. Select the team you think's going to win. Hit vote. And watch as the votes come in. All right. On the left, for game number one on Battlefield Eternity, we've got One More Fight. Rexar going to be played by Echo. Hellstorm going to be playing the Tracer, Midnight Fire on the ETC. All right, well, Lucio, let's go with Misteltine on Lucio and Lord Gaiak on the Kael'thas. Over here to the right, however, we have Team E-Lite. It's going to be Delta Sniper playing the Vala. Got Dauntress on Johanna, Aura Luna playing the Anduin, Shurijo on the Lunara, and Iron Maiden on the Leoric. Got the sprays coming out. Gotta say, I love the Brightwing spray. Kael'thas also loves the Brightwing spray so much that he wanted to throw some fire on it. Let's take a look at these level 1 talents. So Kael'thas going into Mana Addict. Difficult to complete on this map, but I think it's still worth doing. I think it's probably still the best one. ETC gonna take a lot of damage here from Vala. One last attack probably would have done it, but not quite there. The blind going out onto Tracer almost gets the Johanna, but instead is gonna have to pull back. So we do have here the Pulse Strike, increasing the amount of charge that Tracer gets on that Pulse Bomb, and you can see up here 95%, so you'll be able to track the percentage there up at the top of the screen. Swoop talent here for Rexar, allowing him to get more wave clear. The Pulse Bomb not quite landing there. Now, how much does Pulse Bomb do? I don't know that I can pull it up without pulling her up. ETC's gonna get caught and taking out the first blood, going over to Team E-Lite. Checking up top here, Rexar versus Leoric. Generally a pretty balanced matchup, although the Leoric definitely can win that out if he's able to drain life off of Misha, as we see right there. But with that ETC kill, Team E-Lite gonna make their way onto the camp here in the bottom lane. Condemn coming out from Johanna. She's gonna pull them in. Lunara looking for the kill onto Kael'thas, but not quite able to get there. And gonna catch some living bomb damage there in return. Other talents, we got Prog Rock for ETC, another Globe talent there. Gonna be the party mix for Lucio, so he can spread that healing a little bit farther. Bold strategy from the Anduin. Monster Hunter, of course, for the race for Vala. Johanna going into Hold Your Grab, gonna get bigger shields more often. Fealty unto Death here for Leoric, so he's gonna get more healing, more mana from killing minions and having his minions killed. And then finally for Lunara here, Natural Perspective, gonna be able to keep track of where those heroes are that have the dot. So there you go. Welcome Darth Cherrywood, Ewok Thor, Ronan. Happy to see everybody in chat tonight. All right, both teams working on their Shaman camp. Gonna see it picked up just a little bit earlier here on the side of one more fight. And we'll see if they're gonna clear up this lane here. And the Shaman camp is gonna go just fine here. I mean, they don't have the best wave clear between these two heroes. I would hesitate to say that they have any wave clear between those two heroes at this level. They'll get it eventually here. It's gonna be Fel Infusion for, or I'm sorry, Mana Tap here for the Kael'thas. And there's the Power Slide with the Pulse Bomb. Can they get there? They do, and not only that, but check it out. 3 Living Bombs bursting there. Because, of course, Living Bomb explodes when the target dies. So with that leap of faith pulling Johanna into the team, trying to save her, ultimately caused some extra damage into the team. And you hate to see it, but it's so easy to do. And halftime, gonna go over to one more fight here. Now, what else do we have? We got that Hungering Arrow upgrade here, Puncturing Arrow. So Vala gonna be looking to hit heroes with those Qs. ETC gonna get that Power Slide onto Vala, but Midnight's all by herself. And that's gonna be another kill here. Oh man, big stun from the Immortal might be the doom of Rexar. It is. Good night. Kael'thas trying to get some additional damage, poke out this Immortal, but doesn't quite have the range necessary to do it safely. Tracer, however, is going to recall out of there. And we have Vala going back to race. That's important. I think she can outrace most of the team here. So it's going to be close. Can they do it? Just barely here, and Leoric's so very low, but so is Hellstorm. Tracer has to pull back. In fact, Will Hearth. And the Globe heroes do get their globes there. 2 more going over for the ETC and Kael'thas. And Tracer says, hey, you know what? How about I just come over here and stand next to this Lucio for a little bit, because I don't have a whole lot of health. Pretty much 1 amp it up is going to heal me up to full. All right, Dauntress right up in here. Wants to try to provide enough of a front line for the Vala Lunara to get damage here. Still a wall up for at least a moment, although the Immortal is going to take that out pretty quickly here. Just a couple of minions, so they have to be really careful, as we do see Vala potentially going offline. And Kael'thas is very low. Is going to get caught by the Johanna blind. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen a pause here. Because this is still a Vala. Still a Vala bot. There it is. Really? What are you doing? Hey. Guys, my dog is growling at literally nothing. He's not facing anybody else. He's just he's facing over there. I have 1 dog down here. I have 1 dog over there. He's facing over there, growling. I don't get it. Oh, man. All right, so anyway, so Vala's DC'd, so we'll be back here hopefully soon, back into the game. First Immortal picked up by 1 more fight, was able to get that top wall down, the top towers, so they get a little bit of an XP bump out of that, but they're still a little bit behind. Kills in favor here of Team E-Lite, 4 kills to 1. But ultimately, it's not the kills that are going to make the difference in this game, is if they can get the He doesn't like bots, indeed. If you can get the Immortal can push and push and push. And if you've got a good solid team fight at that point, that's okay. You can take heroes. Hey, can you be quiet? Anyways, you can take heroes while the Immortal gets those big stuns sometimes, zones out the damage potential from the keep, and ultimately then just go in and dive somebody. Tracer can go looking for the Lunara or potentially the Vala. She just has to be really careful against those heroes, because both of those heroes will pretty much melt her face if given the opportunity. Hey, are we good? I don't know what he's going on about. Okay. Dozer Bull, welcome. Did I say that earlier? I don't know if I did. But in any case, welcome. Glad that you're here. I'm gonna go ahead and take this opportunity to write down the heroes that we have. It sounds like the Vala player is coming back in, so hopefully we can start the game here soon. And I'm guessing that either the other team is talking in team chat as opposed to all chat, or just hasn't had anything to say. Oh my goodness. At this point, it's kind of funny. Ow, buddy. Relax. Sheesh. It's like he's growling himself to sleep. He's slowly going to sleep. By the way, good luck, have fun, they say. Oh, you'll love to see it. Alright, Delta Sniper is back. I think that we're going to be getting back into this game here in just a moment. Hopefully. Anytime now. So, if you guys aren't aware, there's a new mount in Warcraft. It is a flying rat. But anyways, you can get it if you have a 6-month sub. If you already sub at 6 months, then all you have to do is just collect it. Real easy. Alright, we're back in this game here between One More Fight, Team E-Lite. As you can see, a little bit of an XP advantage over there to the Team E-Lite side. We saw the solo laners switch as the Immortal came up here into the top lane. Some other talents we've got here. So, Splintered Spear, going to be very helpful for bringing down the squishy targets on the side of One More Fight. We've got the Nature's Calling, providing additional damage against the Immortal, but also against the towers, the walls, the minion camps, all of those things. Got an extra jump here, Jumper, increasing the cooldown, but giving an additional blink. Kael'thas going into Burn Flesh, so if he's able to get 2 people in that Flame Strike, it's going to do 8% additional health. Has to game after this or going to bed. Oh no, we got a game after this, buddy. We're doing Division B East after this. Tracer going in, gets blinded, does use the recall, and leaves a little parting gift. So Leoric's going to, I guess, check. Is that what's going on here? Just checking, seeing what's going on. We have a little bit of a bush party here, looking to get set up. And the rotation coming in from E-Lite. This is 5-on-3, although Rexar is nearby. ETC is going to pull back out. Lucio as well has the heals going on here. And here comes Kael'thas now as well. That Flame Strike a little bit outside, probably where it could have been, but the low health heroes in Vala and Lunara both getting just shredded here. And this camp's not even done. Leoric getting pulled over the wall just in the nick of time to keep him alive. Otherwise, that would have been another kill. Level 10s for both teams coming up at almost the exact same time. But that's going to be now the Shaman camp going in favor of One More Fight here. And Rexar zoning out. Team E-Lite has the Misha to put a little pressure out there. Lunara was actually pretty low. Could have even gone down if Rexar was able to find the right position, but I don't think that was really feasible having the Johanna and Anduin nearby here. But now we have the aggressive positioning on the Immortals, so this is going to force a fight coming out from Team E-Lite. The Chastise going out. There's the Entomb onto the Lucio. Lucio taking all of the damage, is just going to fall here. It's going to be the Salvation coming out. We did hear the Boars going out from Rexar a little bit ago, so ETC is going to get caught by that. Chastise, the Hungering Arrow is going to get the kill onto ETC. Actually, it's just going to allow for the kill. Technically, Lunara was able to get that with her Nature's Toxin. Now, Tracer doesn't have a whole lot of health here. Has to be really careful. But they get the Pulse Bomb onto Leoric. Can they... Oh, is this a kill? They don't have Salvation. Leoric doesn't... He's got 1,000 health. I think he's toast. He is. But the Immortal going down faster over here on the side of Team E-Lite. So they're going to pick up the race after getting those 2 kills and secure themselves the second Immortal of this game. And it's going into the bot lane. So that Shaman Camp did some work here. Got this bottom tower down about 2/3 of its health. We see one more fight there, pushing that lane up just a little bit. See if they can't get a little bit more value onto that fort. The shield already gone before Team E-Lite can get here. So this Immortal is going to get about as much value as the first one. It'll probably take down most, if not all, of the wall. And that's it. Couple hits onto the fort. We do still have the mosh pit here available, so if they find a good spot for it. Also, what are the ways to interrupt it? We got Johanna and we got Vala, and that's it. So really, ETC just has 2 heroes to keep track of. If ETC can get the Vala in, then that, like, I think that's the easier thing to track, right? Is the Blessed Shield. So if you can track the Blessed Shield, I think that ETC can catch that Vala, and then it's just a free mosh. But we'll see. Tracer going in, has to recall out, didn't want to get that. There's the Blessed Shield, so the ETC needs to be looking for the mosh right here. And you've got the sound barrier up, don't waste that ultimate. They all pulled back with the sound barrier. Oh no, guys, you had a perfect opportunity. Just had to be a little bit more aggressive. Now the Rain of Vengeance has another stack for sure. And the Blessed Shield's already halfway down on its timer. Okay, ETC got caught in the Condemned. Gonna get the knockback. Gonna pull back the Johanna here. So gonna have to pull back is one more fight. Meanwhile, in the top lane here, as you can see, this fight is so even between these 2 heroes, right? Misha can get healed up by Rexar. Leoric can get healed up by Misha. So really, it's just Rexar healing Leoric by association, I suppose. But seeing those hearts there, that's going to give one more fight the opportunity to get a siege camp in the bot lane here. As ETC now finishing that prog rock. One more to go for Mana Addict. That's going to give the Kael'thas a lot more comfort in these team fights. Shaman Camp is going to get picked up by Team E-Lite. That'll be going up in the top lane here, so it'll take it a little while to get significant value, although the minion wave is pretty far up here. ETC's gonna zip on out of there, just barely dodging the Immortal stun. And we're gonna see the rotation up to clear out this Shaman Camp. I like this a lot. The bot lane is gonna provide some pressure here, so at some point E-Lite's gonna have to address that. ETC's gonna get the power slide onto Johanna. Here comes the mosh, but there is, I mean, there's certainly, yeah, I was going to say, there's certainly a way out of that here. But ETC is going to pay for it, and here comes the Protect for the Salvation, catching the Pyroblast as well. Got to be mindful of the Salvation before casting that Pyroblast. If that's still available, you can't cast it. You got to hold on to it. Unless you know for sure that that Anduin's nowhere nearby. Vala getting a lot of damage here into this Misha-Leoric combo, but not really going to take anybody down with it, just mostly because it's Misha. Lunara might get the kill onto Tracer, but is able to sneak over there to the Lucio. Leoric here getting caught solo, is going to be taken out by Tracer. Can they get the kill onto Johanna? She doesn't have a whole lot of mana here, so she throws out those Blessed Hammers. I mean, this should be in theory, a free kill for them. They do, and the Leap of Faith is burned. The Immortal has almost no health, but they get the triple kill, securing the kill onto Lunara, and now they need to just simply zone out that Vala, because Vala's going to come in here and Q this, and that's done. And Leoric is back in the middle of blue shirts here. He does have Wraithwalk, but gets stuck in between, or I guess behind the Tracer. She's going to get a Pulse Bomb. Can she get the kill? She does with that melee attack. Another kill, equalizing the score. 7-7 on kills here. Gonna see that sound barrier coming out from Lucio to help his team disengage. And now it's time to get onto this Immortal and bring it down as quickly as possible so it does the least amount of damage to the fort. But check it out. One more fight getting bot lane value. That siege camp going all the way through that fort. ETC was trying to get a mosh but got interrupted, I think. Either that or it was just happening to be on a 10-second cooldown. Mosh is back available, but there's the oh no. Well, okay. You know what? It baited out the Blessed Shield because, I mean, Leoric was just fine. He had Wraith walked out of there. But Johanna did use that Blessed Shield. So if ETC's watching for that, then that gives you a good timer. You can see, based on your own cooldown, when that's going to come up. That's obviously about half of the mosh pit. Just a little bit lower than that. And Rexar's going to head back into the bot lane here with the siege camp. We got one more fight looking to come in. They've got level 16s now. What do we have? Is this the timed? It is. Locked it. I love this talent. I love that talent so much. It turns the game into kind of a mini game for Tracer. And I think if she does it right, you can see her guns very briefly charge with a little like blue aqua colored wave there, but like right after she reloads, so you have to be watching for it. So anyways, so that's gonna be a big burst of potential damage there from the Tracer. She also did take Ricochet, so Ricochet is such a good talent. It's essentially a 50% damage increase overall if there's anybody nearby for it to proc onto. The other thing is she can do that on the Immortal and bounce it off to heroes. So I like it a lot. I'm really liking the Tracer setup here, and I want to see this fight. Here it comes. Lucio's coming in. He's got the speed on right now, and we see the disengage coming out from one more fight. They have a double camp in the bot lane that has to be addressed. That'll turn into a keep real fast. And with the lesser race, one more fight's going to get right onto this Immortal. They need to bring this down as quickly as possible because they're not really going to outrace the Vala Lunara. Although you can't get hit by those stuns. Those are long stuns too. Like the melee area stun is whatever. It's a split second stun, but the smaller circles, I mean, that's like 2 seconds. And getting hit by that, it's a fair amount of damage as well. It's an eternity. Lyric's gonna get the Entomb in onto Kael'thas. He's gonna get his own shield and a sound barrier, but Protect coming in from the Anduin. Lunar gonna fall to Rexar in the back, so this is 1 for 1 so far, although Tracer, very low, got blinded, has to pull back, and Rexar making use of Misha to try to zone out for the main body there of Rexar. Let's zoom out a little bit here. ETC gets the power slide onto Vala, but there's nobody there. Can Tracer make it out? No, she can't. The Hungering Arrow managing to just follow up with that extra bounce. And right now it's looking like Team E-Lite should be able to get this next Immortal here. Did I miss a mosh? I must have missed a mosh. Must have been a mosh in there that I didn't catch. Now the positive thing here for one more fight is that this is going to go into the bot lane. Mist and Tomb there, blocking out the Johanna. That, or it was just used to zone out, right? It blocked the entire spot there So it meant that nobody from One More Fight could engage in. So it looks like they're going to clear up this top camp, or top catapult rather, real quick, and then head on down into the bot lane. So what I was going to say is they got so much value getting to halftime first that they don't have a lot of shield to burn here. But I think they need to adjust their strategy here. They almost need to see Team E-Lite come into them on their side of it here. So Power Slide gonna help protect the Tracer. There goes the Salvation. So now looking for that Pyro, although ETC's gonna get rooted and is on an island here, and that's no bueno for One More Fight. Misha's gonna get stunned. The Immortal is gonna go down, but Lyric getting that Entomb onto the bear is gonna limit the frontline potential here. And I don't think that's what Kael'thas wanted to do. I'm guessing that Kael'thas did not intend to completely shut down his entire ability to do anything there by hitting that taunt button. That's a long time. And Team E-Lite saying, you know what, we can take this now. We've got 2 kills, and we've got the pressure of Lunara and Vala. Rexar right in the middle here. Oh no! Oh, Rexar didn't get the sound barrier shield because he was still in stasis. But they do get the kill onto Vala, so that's going to make the damage a little bit harder, but it's not really going to matter. It's just Tracer and Lucio. And it's going to be game number 1 going over to Team E-Lite. Ah, gotcha, Darth Terrorwood. Thanks, I was busy looking elsewhere. So I mentioned at the very beginning of this matchup, before we'd even seen the first hero pick or ban, that my opinion was that these teams played well, that they were confident, and they just needed that one little bit. And I think in this case, both of these teams were really equal. I mean, the kill counts were the same, the structures were the same until that last Immortal, and then that's when E-Lite was able to get the pressure enough to successfully push into the core. So if I'm One More Fight there were 2 things. Obviously the ETC death was what started the snowball effect at the end there. So that stinks, right? I mean, that's just, it's very easy to find yourself in the wrong place as the tank. So that's experience. But the other thing is that with the type of team comp that One More Fight has, wanting to fight, wanting people to you know, get close to each other, spread those living bombs, all of that, they kept trying to engage onto the enemy Immortal. And that gave the other team enough of an advantage to level out that playing field, providing zone defense, if you will, from the Immortal, that it didn't work out a single time for One More Fight. They had the advantage going into halftime almost every time on those, and if they'd just simply stayed back on their Immortal, especially since they had most of the pressure. I mean, bot lane was the pressure for them throughout most of that game. So if they could have stayed back, let Team E-Lite come into them, with such a healthy Immortal, they have more control then. Yes, they do take some damage. Yes, the Hungering Arrows are going to hit. Yes, Lunara's damage is going to spread. So, yeah, your Immortal's going to take some damage over time. But if they're using those abilities on the Immortal, they're not using them on you. That's the only thing that I would see specifically, I think, that would have made One More Fight really come into this and ultimately take that win. But E-Lite, you know, did I say... I said One More Fight, yeah. It's so easy because of the sounds being similar for the names, One More Fight and Team E-Lite. So easy to flip-flop those. But even, you know, I don't want to take anything away from E-Lite here. They did a fantastic job of playing to their comp. They did play the defensive position there, played it very well. They played very well with the Entombs, had some really great Entombs, and managed to get themselves a victory. So Ewok Thor and Just Jordan want to shout you guys out for the follows. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And we'll check in here and find out where are we going for game number 2. Give that just a moment to hear back. Oh, they're already in a lobby, so see if I can. Looks like we are going to Volskaya Foundry. And this was the map pick of One More Fight. Alrighty, there we go. So yes, it is going to be Volskaya Foundry, and it is going to be the map selection of One More Fight. But we'll be ready to get started here. So let's take a look. Let's see what our teams have as far as their history here. See if I can pull that up. All right, so the map wins. Looks like for maybe this doesn't have all the data. Where have they won? They've won on Alterac Pass. It looks like they haven't won a... Oh, because there's a withdrawn team. That's why. That's why. So there you go. Okay, so Alterac Pass has been the place where One More Fight has won. Let's see where Team E-Lite has won. Obviously, Battlefield of Eternity now. Previously, they've won on Sky Temple and Cursed Hollow. So we are getting all over the maps here. But we're getting into draft number 2 here, Volskaya Foundry. And there goes the Kael'thas. And we saw some good living bombs there, some good damage coming out of the Kael'thas, so that's not a huge surprise. Game number 1, they banned out the Blaze. Maybe we'll see the Blaze. And there's that Alarak. Sticking with tradition. Man, I love this HGC draft music. By the way, it doesn't sound weird to you guys, right? It just sounds like it should. No ban onto Oriole or Deathwing. We might see one of these heroes. So the question is, if you're One More Fight, do you want to leave both up so that you have the potential to get one? Or do you take the one out that you're less interested in fighting against? And I said it in game 1, if you have to choose, get rid of the Oriole, in my opinion. They elected to put them both on the table. As expected. All right. So we're going to see the Oriole coming in. We'll see how that affects the drafts. Now, does One More Fight... Do they play the Deathwing? Do they want to pick up the Deathwing? Johanna going to be the first pickup here from One More Fight. And we're going to get the Gul'dan. Now, Gul'dan can do a lot of work here. Fighting on these control points, you only need to have, really, honestly, your tank, as long as they're alive, on the control point. Johanna's very good for that. Oh, Delta Sniper getting the Kel'Thuzad. I've heard about this. And this is, for the same reasons I was just going to talk about Gul'dan, this is a great map for Kel'Thuzad to get those stacks and get some kills. Going to be the ETC as well here. And that helps to enable the Kel'Thuzad. So what I was going to say, these mages, when you're fighting over these control points, the instinct, if you will, is for people to pile on these control points. Like usually the tanks are kind of either they'll flip sides, right, so that your tank is on their side and theirs is on your side, or you'll meet in the middle, like the 5v5 in the middle that starts every game, and then the rest of the team will be at the back of the rectangle. Hold on, I'm gonna cough. All right, so at the back of the rectangle, and that leaves the mages the opportunity then to proc off of those heroes. Kel'Thuzad could easily hit the Johanna and then tag into the backline. All right, so going back into the Tracer. And we've got a Varian. So I wonder what type of Varian we're going to see. Gul'dan also brings the Horrify, which can help interrupt the mosh pit. Taunt could be good, but they don't really have the blow up. Oh, interesting. We're going to see the Nazebo and Arthas. So a double mage setup here with a double tank. Oh, they changed somebody out. Oh, wait, who do we got? Tracer, Lucio. The Rhodes. Did they change? They did change people around. So Midnight Fire's... Man, that was almost a bad thing. Midnight Fire's playing the Varian now. Echo's going to be on the Johanna. That all looks the same. All right, so that looks correct. Good evening, Lulu. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're enjoying tonight. All right, so last poll was 50-50. Who do you think's gonna win game number 2? Is it going to be one more fight on the left with this Varian Tracer comp, or is it gonna be Team E-Lite on the right? Oh, I knew who you were. Yeah, I just had to update my my little list tracker thing here. All right, here we go. Game number 2 between one more fight and Team E-Lite, Division D East. Currently, Team E-Lite up 1-0 in this best of 3. On the left, we've got the Rhodes playing the Bright Deathwing. We've got Midnight Fire playing the Varian in the best skin. Maybe a little bit better mount synergy there, though. Echo going to be playing Johanna Hellstorm on the Tracer and Lord Gaiak on the Gul'dan. On the right, we've got Team E-Lite. Iron Maiden going to be playing Arthas. Looks kind of funky, but I think that's Arthas. Aura Luna on the Oriole here. Dauntress on the ETC with the mount, the train. It's always ETC, right? It's always ETC. Delta Sniper on Kel'Thuzad. Shurajo on the Nazebo. All right. Yeah, I like Oriole, ETC, and Kel'Thuzad. It's gonna be a tall order here, I think, for one more fight. This is a scary comp. Oh, and by the way, Nazebo, who can just throw down a zombie wall to keep a person stuck even longer. Now, what we just saw there, Kel'Thuzad's chains normally pull 2 targets together. However, Johanna was unstoppable, which means that you get pulled 2 herds. Same thing happens with the Protector. And a little bit of anti-synergy there as ETC hitting that face melt, knocking the target away. So it didn't get... Tracer didn't get caught by the chain from Kel'Thuzad. So that's 1 stack that was missed there. Team E-Lite receiving all of the votes, all of the 1. Oh, big stun from the ETC here. But the Pixie Dust going out onto Gul'dan, giving him a little bit of movement speed just in case. Tracer using that recall to get rid of the Nazebo dot damage. And taking a look here at these talents. So we got the Lion's Fang, right? Lion's Maw for Lion's Fang. Eventually that'll give Varian an extra 50% slow that just lasts for the full duration. We also have Hyper Shift, so Brightwing's going to be able to phase shift more often based on how often she kills minions or is in lanes near minions. Echoed Corruption, as well as the melee upgrade here that we saw in Game 1, Pulse Strike. And Hold Your Ground for Johanna, so more shields more often. On the right, though, Oriole going into Searing Light, so she's going to get the opportunity to deal damage with her heals as well. We've got the chains here, barbed change, so increases the damage, but also reduces the armor of heroes when they're pulled by 10, once Kel'Thuzad finishes that stack. Tracer getting a little cheeky here. And doesn't have the recall, so it has to be very careful. Anyways, what else we got? We got Thing of the Deep, 35 stacks so far here for Nazeebo. Once he gets to 50, that's going to be a 5% spell power upgrade. Also has the additional range just from baseline. Block Party from the ETC. I'm a little surprised to see that, because Tracer just burns through that so quickly. She has, you know, very small auto attacks. I think that ultimately, I think either of his other ults would have been a little bit better. It's not going to get 0 value, but it's I feel like you could have gotten more value out of a Prog Rock or the other one, Guitar Solo upgrade. But we do have here Arthas going into Eternal Hunger, so it's going to have that additional damage. You know, if Tracer's ever close enough to Arthas to get hit by that, it's going to hurt. On top of that here, Arthas wanting to stick on targets. With Icy Talons, he's going to get extra auto attack speed. I don't think, okay. Tracer got the Pulse Bomb out, but it landed on the zombie wall, so not able to get the kill here. Siege camps were picked up by both teams, so Team E-Lite's gonna zip up, work on getting level 7s here, and push the lane up a little bit. Now, it is gonna be a taunt variant, which I thought it might be. I still think it's gonna be difficult, though. Like, the Tracer doesn't do enough damage in that short period of time. They do have, however, they do have the polymorph as well, so that can help. So we'll just have to see. I think they needed a little bit more potential blow up, like a Greymane would have been fantastic instead of the Tracer. Well, we're gonna get the turret going down here. ETC power sliding in. Johanna's right up in the line, but the taunt going out onto ETC, and you know what? If you're gonna stand around for a little while, Varian's happy to say, make it a little longer. And in that case, all that damage from Gul'dan and Tracer, that sustained damage, is going to get a kill every single time. And Oriole can only heal so many times. Technically, she can heal forever, but she can only heal so often. And that's going to be the first Protector going over to one more fight. Johanna and Tracer are going to get into the Protector here. And they're heading straight up for the top lane here. They're not going to clear out the minion wave, so they're going to get right onto the towers. So they'll take some damage from that. The laser going out onto the healing well, so it does take a little bit of damage, but mostly it just got the shield. And this laser, I mean, they could have probably positioned that a little bit better to get more than just the healing well. But they should be able to... Oh, they're not going to get it? Oh, they're not going to get it. Big burst, though, from that laser. Manages to get the... So they get the wall down. Also got a little bit of damage onto the Kel'Thuzad, rather. And there goes the well. And Gul'dan getting a lot of damage onto the Kel'Thuzad as well with that corruption. Sitting at 29 stacks. Varian sitting at 20 stacks on the Lion's Maw. They're at level 1. One more fight, immediately proving Arrow wrong. I mean, they didn't prove me wrong that they don't have the burst potential. They have the sustained fight. So, I mean, it works if it's, you know, if you get somebody down to half health, yeah, okay, you can finish them. So, and speaking of half health here, Kel'Thuzad putting in work, though, nearly getting the kill onto the Tracer, but it's actually going to be Brightwing getting the kill onto the Arthas. But he did drop the turret, so no transfer of ownership there. Repeated offense currently sitting at 1 stack. And the chain's pulling Varian, pulling one tank into the other. We see the zombie wall here, dead rush. Additional damage, and those zombies are gonna get up and they're gonna fight. Bound by shadow. So every time that Gul'dan hits somebody, he's gonna reduce that corruption cooldown by 1.5 seconds. So that's gonna help him to really stack up that echoed corruption. Uh-oh. There's no protect here for Varian. He's gonna get stunned into the wall. Still has some health, but not really enough to matter, as now Nazeebo gonna get that Ravenous Spirit onto Gul'dan. And oh my god, so many ultimates! I don't even think the Nazeebo ultimate was required to kill the Gul'dan, let alone the Syndragosa. It is going to be Stage Dive coming out from the ETC. We also have that Resurrect as mentioned. Kel'Thuzad has a buyback as well, but he didn't take it actually. He took Army of the Archlich, which is going to help him against that Tracer. Nazeebo's going to have an Ice Block at 13. So that's, yeah, so they don't have any significant like buybacks other than the Resurrect. Now, at level 20, I expect we'll probably see Death Metal. And Death Metal plus Oriel's Resurrect is pretty broken. It's a fantastic combo. I don't want to say it's broken. It's a fantastic combo. We're gonna see the rotation down here, looking for the Arthas. Now Pulse Bomb is gonna go out, so Arthas is gonna be real low here. He doesn't have his ghouls. He instead went Syndragosa, so is able to just make it out, and now will have to Hearth as the team will go up. But that's another, again, that's another turret. So, you know what? Good on them. Good on one more fight. They are taking the appropriate fights to get these items off the map. It's just their turret now. I think, do we have a bio? Yeah, so Delta Sniper does have a biotic emitter still. And the channel, once again, going to be started here by one more fight. By the way, on the left, Varian going into the Warbringer, so he's got charges more often, and he can do them to allies. The Blessed Shield, Emerald Wind there. Let's see, the Pulse Bomb upgrade, giving the percent damage, Quantum Spike, and the Horrify. So, turret a little far forward, probably. Will allow her to get cleared pretty easily. ETC is going to power slide in. Arthas already at half health. The Pulse Bomb gonna go out, and that's a deletion of Arthas. Here comes the Resurrect though. Can they get the kill onto ETC? It's not looking very good with that biotic emitter, but a big Horrify. Missing the Ravenous Spirit though, so ultimately Nazeebo is gonna be able to channel that. Johanna's gonna pop that Iron Skin, needs to, in order to get out. But they get all the way to 99%. They can be patient here. They've finished off the res. So they just need Tracer to get her Pulse Bomb back here, and they're in good shape. They're not waiting for that, though. So they get the taunt out onto ETC. ETC is going to get taken out. Again, half-health heroes will find themselves in the graveyard here. There's that Ice Block onto the Nazeebo, but both frontliners now going to be down on the side of Team E-Lite. One more fight, going to pick themselves up another Protector. So, yeah, it turns out that if you can get heroes down with all of your corruptions and fell flames, that you can bring them down to half health, that a Pulse Bomb and another fell flame or two, plus a Brightwing Arcane Flare, all that stuff will add up and kill even one of their tanks. Here comes the Stage Dive. But the wall's down now in all three lanes. So far, that's it. We do have the well up top. We'll probably get the well here. And that's about all I expect to see out of this. This turret, or this Protector, is falling pretty quickly. That first laser there missed the healing well, so they had to do a second one. Ravenous Spirit coming out. Gonna see the glove onto Kel'Thuzad, so he's gonna get punished, or punched back here. Now, Lord Gaiac is very low on the Gul'dan. Let's take a look at those talents again. 15 and 14 right now. Varian now has percent damage as well. Juggernaut is going to help them to secure those kills. But Gildan is probably just screwed here. I think he's just toast. Oh, what a horrifying... Just enough to save him? It is. And the heal coming out from Brightwing with that pixie dust as well, keeping Gul'dan just barely alive. Holy cow. 155 stacks on Nazebo. So that is another thing, though, that One More Fight has to be mindful of. They've got to find a way to get this game done before level 20, or the damage from Nazebo is going to be absolutely astronomical. One set of spiders onto Tracer, and Tracer's going to be dead if she doesn't recall. Oh, no. And the phase shift right into Varian is going to get the pull onto Brightwing. That's a double kill here. Blessed Shield coming out. They don't have the Horrify. Like, this is just get out. Maybe they get a kill. They don't. It's Tracer. That was one too many fights. Like, once they saw that Varian was gonna get caught, like, even the Brightwing should have just thrown that one away. So the first 4 to the game at level 16 for both teams here. Gonna go over to Team E-Lite. And that's a difficult thing to come up with as well, right? Because your inclination is always, I gotta go save my friend, especially as a Brightwing. When you're far away, you can get there. You're gonna get that 30% heal, right? 20% normally. Hypershift adds 10% of that. So it's a big burst heal, but the reality of it is that you're going into a dangerous place with 4 heroes, and there just wasn't enough to be done about that. Like, I think Brightwing is hoping that, you know, they'd get there, hit the Emerald Wind, and that would save Varian. Hey, have a good time, Lulu. Tell Mark Zomb that I said hello. Tracer's, now she's shown here, so they know she's here. And also probably that she's by herself. So let's take a look here on Vision here. So where do they see? They only see these 2 here. And they're going to get, there's the Horrify. Kel'Thuzad did get the chain. Blessed Shield going out, but I don't think that Lord Gaiac, oh, never mind. There's that huge shift in from the Brightwing, keeping Gul'dan alive. But still no ultimates now. Johanna's going to blind the backline. But this is a good place to disengage. Your team's low. You don't have your ultimates. ETC's going to stage dive in. Kel'Thuzad missed. If that wasn't a miss, that was a death. And now, the death zone. Which team will control it? It's going to start off with One More Fight. Team E-Lite's going to have the opportunity to get a siege camp here. And I think Brightwing, you know, can kind of stay up on this. Should have the hyper shift back. If not, she would have it soon. So, you know, I think she can go ahead and stick around for that. And the team overall get what percentage you can out of this, clean up that lane, and then come down. But right now, she's getting the soak in the mid lane, is going to come down. So that siege camp could get some value here. Varian's going to get caught by the ETC. The condemn onto so many of the Team E-Lite here, but Tracer is so far in the back. Blessed Shield going out is going to keep Tracer alive. Now this is a tough place here. Johanna's the only one on the point. There's the taunt onto the ETC, but there's no follow-up. And now Ravenous Spirit is coming out here. Midnight Fire doesn't have the protect, so they're gonna fall. ETC as well gonna fall. They do have a resurrect though. Oh no, Johanna's gonna get caught by the Kel'Thuzad, pulled in and taken out. Here comes ETC, by the way. Tracer gonna get the kill onto Oriel though, paying for that resurrect with her life. So now it's a 3 versus 4. And Tracer's looking, because all of these heroes are very low. There's the Horrify, but they don't have anybody there to do anything about it. And Tracer can't really get past that turret safely. But 84%, I think they can get this. I mean, they are going to get this, right? They're not going to... Oh, man. Team E-Lite could have had that, I think. So somebody needs to clean up the top lane. I guess maybe that Varian or Johanna will go deal with that. Oh, Brightwing getting pulled in. Has the shield, I'm not even, oh, from the protector. And now is going to try to zip away. Gets pulled back again and is going to get taken out here. Yeah, Brightwing just didn't have the mobility necessary to get out of there. Nor did she have the wind. She used that earlier. So we will get the bot fort taken out. Varian is going to take up the top siege camp and clear that lane up here. But at this point, I mean, they just have to back out. I mean, Tracer puts Gul'dan at so much risk if he pops out of this protector in the wrong place, and he doesn't have a Horrify this time. But now he does. 38 seconds left on the protector. There's not a lot that it can do. Gul'dan even just getting out, saying, I don't trust this Tracer. Tracer's gonna try to get me killed. But these Ravenous Spirits have been, like, not... Well, never mind. Johanna's just gonna get deleted. Horrify a little bit too late here, but Arthas gonna be the counter kill. Here comes the Resurrect, though, and with level 20, that's gonna be a very speedy Arthas. And the cooldown reduction begins. Lord Gaiac now going down. And, you know, I gotta say, this is looking really strong here for Team E-Lite. With just the Tracer Varian and Brightwing on this. Delta Sniper looking for another pick. Isn't going to get it. Keep is going to go down. And now, do they feel that they can take the core? Arthas was looking for the Tracer. And it looks like they think that they can. Question mark. Hesitantly. Maybe. They're not sure. Oh, they've got Kel'Thuzad with that minion there. That's going to do it. Well, also, if they get the Tracer kill, now they're confident. And they're pushing in hard. This, the Damned Return is such a good siege talent for Kel'Thuzad, too. He does so much damage with his Death and Decay when he's got twice of them, double of them. And that's going to be game number 2 going over to Team E-Lite. Alrighty then. Showing off these stats here. So 8 kills to 12. Again, that was a very balanced game until it got right to the end. And I think that, you know, in this case, you know, very similar circumstance. One more fight just had one less fight in them, right? I mean, they ended up winning pretty decently down in that bot lane, getting that protector. But then the Brightwing death really set off kind of a chain reaction of events.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hey. I'm also bringing Delta, my Kel'Thuzad player, so I'll be here shortly.
Alrighty, that's fine. So, yeah, so we've got Oraluna here, the captain from Team E-Lite. And congratulations, that was quite the showing out of your team there.
Thank you.
And there's Delta Sniper as well. So we've just got the whole gang up in here.
I thought he would be good to have here because I think he can explain a lot better than I can certain things.
All right, sure. Well, I want to start with something that's not related in any way to anything that happened tonight. I want to go to a day ago and ask Delta Sniper how you felt. Did you watch Nexus Edge?
I did not.
All right, well then I can't ask that question.
Are there... Yeah, I feel bad. Is there... Because I've seen a couple of them, but I haven't seen any recently.
So there was specifically a moment in Nexus Edge, and I hope that I have this right and that it wasn't in some other conversation somewhere, but anyways, there was specifically a moment in Nexus Edge where they were specifically talking about Ban Cho and your guys' showing against Ban Cho, and they highlighted the specific play of the Kel'Thuzad player and how how well they had performed into Bancho, and ultimately propping you guys up that your match score didn't really reflect your overall ability as a team. So I was going to ask you how you felt about getting a big shout out in, the Nexus Edge like that. So since you didn't watch it, I'll just ask you, how do you feel about getting a shout out on a show you didn't watch?
I mean, it's pretty cool to me, this is my first time playing in a structured environment like this, so it's always good to hear praise from people that are that put on this environment. All the teams that are out there and stuff. Sure.
Well, so you guys played here. Game number 1 was Battlefield of Eternity, and then we had Volskaya Foundry. I have to say that for the most part, things looked really balanced in both of these maps, and it's kind of funny because you guys got all of the Immortals, but I think except for the first one, but they got all the Protectors. Like, kind of a weird mishmash of how these fights went. But so you guys early on, like, they had a little bit more of a team fight based comp, you had a little bit more of a race comp. What things did you identify early on? What were your keys to victory, your path to success, so to speak?
Oh wow, I have to think about that comp for a minute.
So you guys had Anduin, Vala, Johanna, Lunara, and Leoric, and they had Kael'thas, Tracer, Lucio, Rexar, and ETC.
Okay. Oh gosh. Well, I don't know. Delta, you got something? Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of it was the Leoric initiating with the Entombs. Like, that first Immortal, I think we got Lucio in that Entomb, and then he went to use his ult, and I had stunned him as Vala, and then I think ETC went to do his Mosh, and Johanna had stunned him with the W, so it was just a lot of well-timed ability usage from our team.
Another thing too is like just being really, really good at dodging living bombs, like trying not to spread the bombs. I think that was a huge focus. That entire game was like, no, don't spread the bombs. So
except for the one.
Oh yeah, that was bad. I'm sorry. Don't talk about that. It was bad.
I didn't have to say it. You know exactly which one.
Yeah, no, that was bad. But yeah, no, my Anduin pool. I was trying to save Joe, but I was like very late on it, so it kind of bombed everybody. But nobody died from that except Joe. But
that's cool. Yeah, exactly. Just the dead corpse that went flying past my head. That was the only one. Yeah. And unfortunately there were a couple of those, right, where the leap of faiths were just like a half a second too late, right? But you had one that was absolutely perfect on Leoric on a fight that started off pretty well for you guys on their shaman camp, and then it started to go south. You only ended up losing one player. I don't remember who it was, but it was about to be two, and possibly some others, as everybody was really low. But the placement of that leap of faith really was just clutch, because I honestly thought Leoric was just toast.
Oh yeah, thank you. That fight was awkward too, because we originally thought we had the upper hand, but our team got split, so that's where everything went awry.
And I do agree, and I want to point out those Leoric Entombs, the one that you mentioned where Lucio got locked down, was way better than it even seems like, because the positioning of that Entomb was such that I don't think that he could even wall ride, because if he can wall ride, he just walks past Leoric and he moves on with his life. But it was just lined up with the wall perfectly so that Lucio had nowhere to go, on top of all the damage you guys dumped into his face.
That was a good one. So props to Ire for that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Ire had some good Entombs. Like he used it to zone the top Immortal in one fight, which was really nice.
Yeah,
He used it, and then we were able to kill it.
I originally thought that he was trying to catch somebody and missed them, and so I was like, oh, great, he just got a Johanna. And then I was like, you know what, that was pretty perfectly placed to make sure nobody came through. So I think that's not what I thought.
Oh yeah, the zoning Entombs, they were hardcore. They're pretty awesome.
Absolutely. So when you guys get that first ETC kill at the end of game number 1, where you get the Immortal, you're pushing down in the bot lane, I think that's when you took down the fort. I think it was up until then. And then ETC's like there, but the rest of the team disengaged. How long did it take you, like, at what point in that fight did you realize we can go win the game now? Was it after the ETC kill? Was it after getting Misha? Like, what was the process there?
I think after we killed ETC, I think it was like, we need to get one more pick. We need to get, one more kill, and then I think we can push for the win. If I remember right. But I mean, it was so chaotic. It's hard to say. But whenever I see like 2-3 death timers, I'm like, okay, go win. But like it's Delta. What do you think? Like, was that?
Yeah, I don't remember it. Yeah, I think I was like, yeah, 2 of them are dead. Just push to the core, and then, or 1 of them was dead. Yeah, we went in there because they still had a long death timer, and I think we picked a couple more off on the way, and we were like, yeah, we'll just.
Right. I think there was some definitely like hesitation, like we're like, oh, can we win? But then yeah, we just ended up getting more picks, so it was good.
Well, and I'm going to come back to that in a second, because there was one part of that. Let me jog your memory a little bit. So you kill the ETC, the Immortal moves up, the Leoric Entomb gets Misha. I'm like, but you kill Misha. All right, no frontline. But then...
Oh, I remember this.
Oh,
but
okay.
then Kael'thas comes
Fat
up
fingered
with
his taunt.
the big moment, the big pause in the game there.
Yep.
Yeah. And I was sitting there going, Kael'thas, this isn't the time. Oh, that's probably just a mistake, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Well, it worked in our favors.
Yep. I
Exactly.
remember that because I was like, Leoric, just entomb him over the wall, and we're just gonna kill whoever you get, and it was Misha.
And he's like,
We
well,
killed
it's
it.
just a bear.
Yeah, I mean, but that's good though, right? You get the bear, and at that point, the bear's the only protection they have. Rexar has no health, he has no abilities. Kael'thas has nothing, and then you have Lucio, right? So, so you guys, that set things up. Now, on that kind of hesitation, end of game number 2, 1 or 2 of them were dead. I think two of their heroes were dead. I think it was like Vari and Johanna. Or something like that. And so you guys are... Oh, no, it was Gul'dan and one of the tanks. So you guys are now taking down that keep. And it looked like you weren't really sure if you could do it. Until Tracer, basically inted. But was that kind of the feel? That you're like, maybe we can do this? Because you guys kind of hung around the minion wave for a few seconds.
Absolutely. It was the
then went
same
out.
exact thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was absolutely like, can we win? We need to get another pick. Like the same exact thought as the first game. And then
Awesome.
we got the Tracer, so it was good.
And was there any deliberation? Obviously, you guys banned out the Deathwing in game 1. Was there any deliberation over when you see that both Oriole and Deathwing are left up, your first pick? Was there any even consideration at looking at Deathwing, or was it just straight up, you know what? We want Oriole.
For our team, not right now. Like, we're not as practiced on Deathwing as we could be. But for their team, we didn't know what they would do. So we thought, we don't really want to fight a Deathwing. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah, their team seems to have a wide hero pool variety, so we were like, well, I don't know who to ban. Well, we don't want to deal with Deathwing, so that's...
Right.
That makes sense. All right. Let's see. There was one other question. What was it? Well, darn it. Let me look at the heroes. Zebo. Gosh, I don't remember. Well, so I'll just ask this. So did Arthas have a lot of 4-letter words in that game, in that second game? Because I felt like Arthas got picked on a lot by the enemy team. Like with the taunts and followed up by the pulse bombs and...
You good?
Can you hear me?
Where'd you go?
Hello?
Oh,
Hello?
I think he's disconnecting slightly.
Oh my gosh. Hello? Are you guys
You
there?
good, Arrow? Yeah.
We can hear you now.
All right. So I don't remember what my original question was, but my follow-up replacement question, which is not nearly as good, was did Arthas find, like, was he or they rather cussing up a storm? Because I felt like Arthas was getting picked on a lot. I don't know how it felt in the game.
It's hard to say because I feel like Ire is always cussing up a storm, but
I love it.
He seemed to be handling it all right. He would
Yeah,
be like,
no.
"Oh shit, they're rotating on me," and then he's like, "Oh wait, never."
I think honestly, I think we called the rotations better in that game than we did in for Ire in game 1. Like I think he was more in the zone about it, so I think he was a little more calm. But I mean, it all came out in our favor.
All right, well, good deal. All right, well, so at the end, and since there are two of you, you can each have your own little moment here. Before we do shout-outs, I like to ask, what was a particular moment within this series that you felt was, a particular highlight or a cinematic moment, something that you did or your team did or the enemy team did? Anything that sticks out in your mind? Let's start with Delta.
With just these 2 games.
Yes, just tonight.
Yeah, I still think that Entomb on Lucio that we got in there, and like he went to pop his ult, and I stunned him out of it, and then ETC, you could hear his mosh start to go, and then Johanna got him stunned out of that. Like, I feel like that was just a great team coordination there.
All right. How about you, Orluna?
I think this is my own personal victory, but I'm really, really proud of my Anduin pools, like a couple of them. Like that first one on Johanna at the very beginning of game 1, where she almost died, I pulled her out of the way, and then the Leoric pool, like out of that camp later on. I think those were my proudest moments personally.
Absolutely.
So,
Hey, and you know what? There's no greater feeling, especially when playing Anduin, but really when you're playing any hero, when you're just like, nope.
Yeah.
Right? You're just like, you thought you had this, but nope.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Any shout-outs? Go ahead.
Shout out to Team E-Lite, you guys rock. Shout out to One More Fight. Good games, you guys played really hard. And shout out to the best coach in A, Ripper, you rock. And Arrow for casting.
Thank you. Delta?
Yeah.
Yep, I second all of those.
Rubber stamp the ditto. Got it.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy your win. Don't forget to report your results there on the website. And good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks for casting.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Alrighty, everybody. So that is going to conclude this match. But we've got another match coming up in 10 minutes. It's going to be Division B East, Bread Rising Yeast Sports versus Tiny Dancers. And this is going to be a really exciting match. I believe they're number 7 and number 6. They're both teams that have really quality players, and I think that they are deceptively lower in the standings than they could be. This is a really competitive division, so I'm excited to see how these teams play tonight. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in about 10 minutes, and looking forward to this matchup. Thanks for stopping by.